Bart Ehrman said, we could go on nearly forever talking about specific places in which the texts of the New Testament came to be changed, either accidentally or intentionally. The examples are not just in the hundreds, but in the thousands. He's right, and nobody cares. He doesn't care. If we can say John loves Mary over 1,000 times in Greek without changing the meaning, the number of textual variants is meaningless. What counts is the nature of these variants. And so when you think about the nature of these variants, I'm not going to explain this chart too much, just to point out that most of our textual variants are neither meaningful, they don't change the meaning of the text like what I showed you there, the 384 ways to say John loves Mary, and not viable. Not viable means there's no chance that this reading that's found like in a 14th century manuscript someplace represents the original wording and all the other manuscripts got it wrong. That's our largest category by far. Then we've got, it can be meaningful but not viable, so it could be a late manuscript. The smallest category of variants are those that are meaningful and viable, less than 1%. In fact, less than 1/10 of 1% of all textual variants fit into this group of meaningful and viable. That's what we're dealing with. He published Misquoting Jesus as a paperback after the hardback had run a good course and the the publisher wanted to have a paperback version. Well, they added an appendix to the paperback, and if you can ever find this, you should buy it. Because on page 252, they asked him this question. These are the people who published his book and how they read Misquoting Jesus. They said, why do you believe these core tenets of Christian orthodoxy to be in jeopardy based on the scribal errors you discovered in the biblical manuscripts? They didn't even understand what Ehrman had written because he wrote so opaquely. His response: essential Christian beliefs are not affected by textual variants in the manuscript tradition of the New Testament. Tell that to all the hundreds of thousands of Chicken Littles who have abandoned the faith because they read Misquoting Jesus.